Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Vietnam. So, going into this battle, I needed 10 or 11,000 something in between of vehicle research points to finish up my Type 89. And so a couple things here. I don't have any research boosters on. This was from the 11th of February, and it was from the 11th of February before they implemented the new penetration tables with shell and shot penetration. So the JM33 had not been altered yet, whether it ends up being as bad as we think it's going to be or whether it doesn't end up being that bad. Either way, this is pre that. So this is when the JM33 rounds for the Type 90 are still really good. So one of the ways I like to go when I get this side of the map is up this way now, along this path, which gets you more or less directly to the sea point a little faster. Previously, I've gone that southern route that those other two guys are going, what takes you into the city, and then you have to cross a bridge to get to the sea point if you want to get to sea. And that leaves you directly broadside to the enemy approach up to the sea point. So I like going this way better. It's much more protected. And you get there a little faster, I think, because you don't have to make quite as many turns. They're more gradual turns than straight on. So pretty quickly, pretty safely arriving here. You can see you're really well protected. So just checked, watch for any enemy presence at the B point. There wasn't any there. I wasn't sure if the guys were going to come across the river to try and cap with us, so I was a little annoyed at the XM1 there, but they both bypassed the cap and went right on down the way, down the river in the city, so ended up being a non-issue. So, time to push on forward. I held my arty because I didn't have a real good arty target yet. And it ended up being a good thing that I did, because as we're driving forward, I just take some peeks over to the left to make sure I'm not driving up to anything. And an enemy gets marked, so put my artillery on him and unfortunately catch the tree as I'm doing so. But the important thing was getting the artillery on target before that marker disappeared. Now, you know, when you're just a single person doing everything here, it's a little more difficult to do that. But if I had had a full 3-person actual crew driving the tank, the driver probably would not have hit a tree while the commander was radioing in. Now watch my gun here. Little dip for no real reason, but 5-second reload, thank goodness. Now remember that name of the guy that I just killed there, the T-64B. We'll see him again. And I'm able to sneak around this backside of this hill here relatively quickly enough to get in on this other T-64B. Didn't do really good damage to the front of him, but I was able to use my speed and the aforementioned 5-second reload to get a follow-up shot into him and take his crew out. 2 quick ones there. And let's, well, we might as well keep pushing, I guess. There's not really much point in going back towards C now. We're this far ahead, we may as well establish the front line a little further up. And we take a pretty big hit in the right side, so stop pretty safely behind a rock, and we're going to do some repairing here. So I really wasn't sure if that had been artillery that hit me there, or if it had been a actual shot from somebody. You can see it was the second place guy there, gunnery. But I'm pretty sure looking at it now, it was probably an actual hit, although it broke a track and hit my fuel tank and damaged my breech, which is kind of weird, but I'm pretty sure it was probably HE from a T-64 or T-80. Anyways, we're losing guys, and of course, nobody's really saying anything about where they're being hit from. So I just asked them, please, make use of that death cam. Something hits you, especially on the Vietnam map. Let your team know where it is, or at least a rough guess where it was. Repairs are finished. Let's move out. Now, quick pro tip for the mini-map here. On Vietnam, if the water is blue, it's too deep to ford. If it's green, you can cross it. I'll try to do some map reviews maybe coming up. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to make it to them, but I'll see what I can do. So, ATGM comes in from the sky, and I don't know if you can see it in the YouTube video after the processing, but it's right there in that upper circle. My main gun will not come up far enough to get a shot at him, but that's where he is. So he missed on his missile shot, and I can hear an engine directly to my left here, so let's see what that is. Plus, I'm covering myself with the rock. Well, okay, hello there. Now watch this trickery. Punch smoke off on him, and then haul it into full speed reverse as fast as I can get back. And we're going to come up behind him. Now, either I'm going to come up behind him and we're going to fight each other inside the smoke, risking an ATGM shot from the helicopter there. Or what ended up happening, the other option is it flushes him out and he tries to come after me thinking that I'm damaged or something. So it turns out he was the T-72 and he was the one who had actually damaged me, so it probably was an actual just APFSDS shot, not an HE shot that hit me. And I managed to get back into the smoke just in time to avoid another missile from that helicopter up there, and that's when I decided, let's use the terrain, and that's about enough of this guy. So watch this, not too bad for an estimated shot. Thought he'd run away right away, but he didn't. Tried to fire a second shot that didn't quite get him with the RNG of the barrel. Raised a little bit higher. Fired a third shot, and that one gets a real good effect. Went for a follow-up, and then that's when he finally drops his cyclic and decides he's going to drop, or collective. Forget which one it is. I used to know. But he drops out of the sky, and I figure there's no point in continuing to fire shots at him, so let's get back after B, which has just been captured. So anybody else, on a side note, anybody else destroy those stupid propaganda speakers whenever you get a good chance to do it? I don't shoot them just randomly in the battle if I'm near enemies, but
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
I went to answer him back here, but decided we'll just let it go because we're getting close to enemy contact. And that was it. The helicopter ended up being fatally damaged, which I anticipated it would, but it took so long I was starting to wonder if maybe he'd been able to cut his engines and put the fire out. But no, we got him. So pulling up to B, if you watch on the mini-map just northwest of B, we just lost a teammate in an M60A2 to a T-64B. And our sniper up on the sniper hill, the one that's left out of the three that were originally up there, is calling out enemy from the spawn exit, of course. Enemy team has made it to A just as after I got to B, so it didn't lose any ticket bleed really there. And we've knocked out another T-72 just to the northwest of me. But there's another enemy getting marked. So I'm watching off to the straight ahead here and answering a chat message, and I don't notice right away that we've got a guy taking hits here. Back up to as quickly as I can, get a look at him, but unfortunately our Challenger has already been knocked out by a T-64B. But we know where that T-64B has got to be. Sorry, there's no better way to phrase that, I guess. So, turn around, finish up my capture here, wait for a second to get some more ammo and smoke. Fire my artillery up at A, where they're capping, after a moment's decision. And get a couple more shots left, and then push to run around this rock to chase down the T-72 up there. Or the T-64B, rather. It's T-64B. And it was probably good timing, because there he is, coming around the rock. Now, did he see me? It's hard to tell, although I'm pretty sure he did. Position myself for the best possible armor angle, back up, and sure enough, he saw me. Got his track in his fuel tank, but luckily my reload wins here because he missed his shot as well. And then I get a crew knockout on him. Thank goodness. And he made kind of a mistake by not going in for the capture point and decapping B, because that allows me to now bypass B and head straight up to A. Now watching the water up here, center of your upper center of the screen, right before the smoke, there was a leopard coming down out of the A point and crossing through the water. He fired off a bunch of smoke, which was really smart of him because I'd have had a real good shot at him if he hadn't done so. Luckily, my Type 90 is pretty mobile across water, and I'm able to chase after him without too much delay. So watching up at the A point, we've got a couple teammates. There we are. It's a Leopard 2A4 that just knocked out our XM1 GM, but at least I know exactly where he is. And there he is! dropping over the rock just a little too fast for me to get a shot into the back of him, which would have been great because I would have hit his engine. Thus immobilizing him, thus rendering him relatively easy prey. And an engine off to the left, off to the right rather, that's got to be a T-72A. Sure enough, he's knocked out by another XM1. Now, where did that Leopard get off to? Did he go left, or did he go right? It turns out he went right, and somehow he's pointing right at me. I get my shot at him, and it hits a rock hitbox or something? I don't know. Punched off smoke, because I was pretty sure there was a shot coming back from him, and I didn't want him to have a good, well-aimed critical component shot, which I think saved me here. Went to fire my artillery at him, and then decided we'll put it up at A where an enemy had just been marked instead. It was an Object 120 in A, and it's just been taken out by our XM1. And then our other XM1 takes out the Leopard 2A4, thankfully, because that was a close one. Thus preserving my life in my Type 90 for me here, so I was appreciative of that. So, finished up my repair. They're taking the B point. I figure while I'm here, I better duck into A and help cap that, and then we'll move back down to B afterwards. So thank goodness for the Type 90's mobility here. It's pretty good. Yep, here comes the Leopard 2K that capped. I'm trying to beat him around the rock before he can kill our XM1. Unfortunately, I was just a little too late. Take a hit here, lose my breach, chance the breach, and fire, and it luckily worked out. That was a real nice flat plate shot on the upper front of that T-64B, thankfully. That was a backup T-64B of the last guy that I had killed.
Attention to the map.
And apologies to the XM1 GM there that I wasn't able to save, but I just couldn't get around that rock fast enough to take out the... that Leopard 2K before he got him. So I waited in the A point here for a moment to reload some ammo, reload some smoke. I'm down to just 9 rounds of ammo. That's a little low. And that's after I reloaded some ammo. I've at least got a full smoke discharge. We've got an enemy marked on the our normal spawn exit. Coming up out of A, and guess where he's heading? So we got a teammate over there who's been damaged. We've got another teammate who just took out a T-80B right up here. Turns out he was right up here in front of me. And yeah, tree. That's just a third-person angle driving right there. Couldn't quite see where the front of my fender was. And there's our friend, the very first guy that I killed, taking out an M163 back at our spawn. Now, where could he possibly be? It's no way he's going for our spawn when we hold 2 of the capture points, right? Nobody would do that. Now, we just lost an Abrams all the way down at C. That's a problem from a BMP-2. But I'm going to go take the B point back here. Get a decap, and we better grab some ammo because we've only got 9 shells, and that's really not enough. So get down into B, start decapping it. Watch out for the guy that I know is up around here somewhere, and there he is. He's in position 10 feet out of our spawn, because of course he is. Oh! I take a hit. That's pretty damaging. Punch smoke. I can't exactly tell where it came from. Drive forward a little bit to get into cover, and, well... Still, though, not a bad line for the Type 90. 6 total kills, 1 assist, and 3 zones captured. Okay. I'm okay with that. Now, the enemy in the death cam, I could figure out that he's right next to water somewhere, and from the angle that he hit me from at B, I can deduce that he's not right where I just marked him first, and then realize, no, it's got to be right up here instead. So after the follow-up marker... Reach C. Come on, guys. There we go. So a couple things to worry about here. I've got the C point getting captured. I've got the guy who just killed me. And then we've got the guy all the way up at our spawn. So mark the guy up at our spawn. I cannot reach the guy who killed me with artillery, and I cannot reach the C point with artillery either. Killed me at B, shooting directly in. Has to be right there. So I figure he's got to be right about there because he was right on the water by some fishing huts. Has to be. And that's got to be right there. But... So he's probably in the B point by now. But the fishing huts that he shot me from have to be one of the two sets of fishing huts right next to each other where I marked there. So we've got a teammate who's at B. And
Man,
that
that
turd
sucks.
up in our spawn gets a kill, unfortunately.
Turd gets a kill camping back at our spawn.
But right now I need to worry more about the capture points. If he's at our spawn, so
man.
be it. He's not capturing from there. So we've got one guy up at A, and we've got myself and an M163 down here at C. And that's it.
Come on,
It's
74, let's
not
go.
looking great for us right now, but we have a really large ticket advantage. And that is what allows us to have time for me to get back to
Man,
the
just
C
don't
point.
give this turd another kill up there.
And I was really hoping that nobody would respawn up there and just keep that turd irrelevant and make sure he didn't get any more kills, but unfortunately that wasn't the case.
Come on, Type 74, let's go, baby.
God! This actually kind of annoyed
Nice
me.
hitbox.
The 2 times I crashed into trees so far, alright, they were more or less front on. But that should have been a glancing blow and my track should have just skipped right off that rock. Anyway, moving on. The M163 is in a pretty good spot, and I managed to get up here and decap the C point.
Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Get him, guys, get him. Eat
Now
that
we've
jerk
got an
alive.
M56 moving in
What are
on
you
this
doing?
guy,
Go
and
help.
some medium.
Go help.
And I'd prefer that the medium got in there with the M56 and they overwhelm this guy 2-on-1 and try and actually do some damage to him and take him out. I'm just watching behind here, hoping that the M163 can watch in front. But I'm expecting the most likely way for me to get killed is going to be from behind here because I'm
Get him,
actually
M56.
worried about the front rather than the back. So we've got 2 enemies on top of this guy. The M56 is actually focusing on him,
I wish my
and then he
artillery
gets
could reach.
killed. And I have to suspect that the other guy is a bot.
Another zone
Still
captured.
quite a few of them left. Oh, come on!
Because he just
Gets
drove in
both
front
of them?
him and didn't actually, I don't know, maybe not a bot.
What a
but
turd.
disappointing that that guy kept getting kills there. So, moving up here, and then I decide, okay, here's my plan. I'm not going to go straight up
What an
into the
absolute
open
turd.
around the front of the C point. I'm going to roll in behind the backside of C, and there's somebody else moving in to engage our friendly neighborhood spawn killer up there in E3 and an M41A1, while I'm going to circle around the C point here. I called for the guy up at A to please just stay at A and just defend
Whoa.
it. That's the key, is we can't lose A. And we have somebody
I
get
gotcha.
marked at C, and I'm going to try and roll around him here. And you'll notice he says, don't run, stay here at A, or stay here at C, rather. Which I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to run away, I'm trying
Got
to come
it.
around behind the guy. So, thankfully the Type 74 isn't too bad with
Oh,
mobility.
come on, another kill?
And unfortunately our friend with all the massive skills up there in our spawn manages to get another kill. Thankfully we had the tickets to spare for losing guys. There we go.
Come on, baby, get around that
Target
corner.
sighted. Come on, Type 74, get around this corner. Get up into position, bring the gun down, and let's wait on him and hope he didn't see us and hope he's not stopping into camp. Good. Neither of those things are true. Get a good shot, blast him right through his ammo. A vengeance kill and a kill on the threat that was moving into C. But watch the kill feed. Most importantly, there we go. Our M163 takes out a BMP-2 that was taking C, stopping him from capping the C point. And that allows me to move in and recapture the C point. Great work. Great goal line stand there by the M163. If he'd have
Nice
died,
work, 163.
that would have been trouble. That would have been real trouble. Very nice work by the M163 there. Now he's calling out an extra leopard. I don't know if he saw one or if he thought one was on the map or if he's talking about the guy coming down from our spawn, because he is now finally, I think he finally did realize how close their tickets were to expiring. Particularly when I managed to finish the cap at C. Now, I don't know if he's heading for A or if he's coming down for C, our friend there in the T-64A, but it didn't end up mattering because he ran out of time wherever he was trying to get. And we did end up winning by tickets. We'll go back to live.
There we go.
Go back to live comms for this part. Goodness, GG. That is how you unlock a new vehicle. I needed about 10,000 vehicle RP. I think we'll call that a GG. And I'm back with you for the post-narration. I didn't talk much during that battle, because honestly it was really late at night, well, really early in the morning, and I didn't expect a great battle. So you can see there, pretty darn good score, almost double anybody else in the battle. Reasonably good rewards, really good RP score, and a pretty healthy looking kill feed, actually. So not too bad. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And as far as all of you who are going to ask, Type 89 first 10 when? The answer, of course, as always, is soon, TM. Take care, everyone.